Who else has left a job that you're like not the happiest at because of like company changes, and then like 3, 4 months later you're like, damn, I probably should have not left and waited it out a little bit. I'm definitely feeling that. I have like a post pinned about it. I left my company at the end of February. I thought it was going to be my forever job. And over the last 6 months that I was there was a lot of changes that made me like really unhappy. And I had just moved into a different role within those 6 months. So I didn't feel like I could like move to a different position. And I was wanting to work part time. I would have stayed there if they would have had part time, but they didn't have part time. So I left. And I left before we went on our trip to California. And when we went on our trip back home to California, we left there like 10 years ago. We were both like, we want to move back. My job was fully remote. We had people that worked in California. And now I need to work full time again to get back to California in 2 years. My husband's gonna be able to get his promotion at his job, and him having a promotion and me working full time, we will be able to afford like after school childcare for my oldest son. And it's just like, I don't know if I need to go and kind of be like, hey, can I get my job back? It's just, I tried to do the waiting tables thing and for just like fun extra money. And for me, I really just like getting that big chunk of money every 2 weeks. Like, yeah.
But how do you quit your job without having secured another one? That's not a good thing to do. And you are a family woman, so you know that that money will always come in handy. So before quitting your job, make sure you have another one. I think that's basic knowledge that everybody should know. Yeah. Somebody said, I left my company Friday. I want to go back. I hate this new place. Ah, thank God you even have a job. That's gotta be rough, but things do happen for a reason. Try not to dwell on it. You will find something better. Some said my husband said the same thing. Was like, but you were so unhappy. No, girl, there were reasons you left. You followed your heart, and there's nothing wrong with the new job not working out. It just means you need to find something that suits you better. Man, in this economy, I don't think people can afford to leave a job because they're unhappy or finding something that suits them with the way the economy is going.
Today really sucks. What's up, guys? Y'all, I'm struggling so hard today. I took the deferred resignation program and have so much regret. I have so much regret. Even with all of the crazy stuff going on in the government, I really miss the security of that job.
You see that security that a job gives. Knowing the fact that in a particular date, most times on a particular time that your salary is coming, that's the security that nothing will beat when you know when it has to do with finance. Oh, so I can imagine. I mean, my heart goes out to her, like.
And I feel like I have no community of people that also took it, which makes me then feel even worse because I feel like I didn't make a thought out decision, but I did think it out. I prayed about it. I am so frustrated with my decision.
My heart goes out to her, and this may likely have impact on how she applies herself going forward when it comes to job. Ah, government jobs are not secure anymore. You are better off in the private sector. Do you think so? People are vying to get federal jobs in in my country, like government job. Hmm. If you don't get on USA jobs and get another job, I took the DRP as well and relocated, but I applied right back into the government. I just started back 2 weeks ago, but got my years back and everything, new position, but they played themselves. I got a 7 month paid vacation. Wow. I felt regrets of security as well when July hit and started applying. You can get back in. Okay, it's good to know that she can get back in. But of course, the emotions are just overwhelming and everything. Oh, I'm sure that there are bound to people that will be telling her, oh, you shouldn't have left, you shouldn't have left. That alone will add to the emotions again. Oof.
I quit my job after 1 month. I'm a new grad social worker and I left my long term job of 6 years in disability to go to another organization to work in my field. It was a tremendous disaster and I absolutely regret it, and it's been an extremely emotional roller coaster. I'm going back to my old job as of the 30th. I feel embarrassed. I feel silly. I feel sad. My confidence is knocked. But I'm also reminding myself that this is not an indication of who I can be as a social worker. And it's not to say that I am not capable of being a social worker. I am. The simple matter of that job was not for me, and it wasn't even the nature of the actual work. I can deal with that heavy stuff. It was the workload, it was the support or lack thereof, a lack of training in the beginning. I have never felt so alone in that month. My mental health declined significantly, and I just thought, there is no amount of money in this world that is worth the way that I am feeling. It's taken me a
I'm glad that she's able to go back to her old job. But like she said, her confidence has taken a notch down. Do you think it's every job that will allow you to come back? A job that you left on your own. So that's a good company if you ask me. Was it child protection with the government? I worked 15 years for FACs, left 2 years ago. Best decision I made. Going to school well-being work. It's trainers, yes, but it isn't like community social work. 8 weeks off per year, an entire principal team around you for questions, etc. Hmm, that's good.
My biggest regret will forever be leaving my job and giving up my financial independence. At the time, it felt like the right thing to do, but I did not realise how vulnerable that made me. No relationship is worth giving up your own source of income. My biggest regret will forever.
I don't think I will ever in this life or in the next life understand how somebody, a woman, will just leave her job, a job that is paying you, you've been living off of. You will give it up because you are in a relationship, even if it is marriage. I don't care. Like, why would you do that? Just because you've started, just because you're in a relationship, you now think that, oh, my man should take care of me. How are you comfortable doing that? Somebody in the comment section said, going through the same thing right now, and boy, it hurts. I can't forgive myself. And that's the thing. Even when you even when you get over it, you will forever at the back of your mind be beating yourself up. I don't think one wants to be in that state of mind now. I quit my job and I will now be moving abroad with my husband. I'm not going to lie, it is a bit scary, but I have money on the side, which makes you feel a bit safer. It really isn't about my husband and specifically, but all these stories you hear online give you scaries. Though my parents expect him to look after me fully since I lived with my family, spending zero time. The gym, I guess. And worst case, my mom said I can just return back. It's nice having that extra cushion of safety. Your own is even different. You are leaving the country, so that's a different case. So, are you not going to get a job when you get there? Well, at least when you find your bearing, you should get a job. You should get a job.
I have wanted to talk about this for the longest time. I truly believe that I left my corporate career way too prematurely in my business journey. I'm saying this as someone who 5 years after leaving her corporate career has now began a new one at 28 years old, and also someone who is loving it and seeing herself thriving in a career again. So I want to preface with that. I really do love the career that I've started and the opportunities. I've loved getting stuck into something again. I'm just going to dive in why I believe I left my career way too young. As somebody who had been building that career for 6 years at a company who paid for her degree and also actually was enjoying it. But I want to throw us back.
When I hear people say their company paid for their degrees or paid for them to go back to get a master's, you guys are living the dream. Ah, that's awesome. Wow.
Back to when I actually quit my corporate career, because I didn't have any of the businesses that I have now. I was actually part of a network marketing company, and if you've ever been a part of network marketing, you will know that the biggest killer of success that is waived is leaving your 9 to 5 and having a business full time. I think at 24 years old, I definitely fell into that mindset of, oh, wow, like I can travel more, I can earn all this money. And I was very fortunate that in the first year of being part of a business, I actually did build my income to a very healthy level, and it did match my corporate salary. Realistically, I probably could have done both and kept my corporate income to cover things like my mortgage, my bills, and then use my additional income for savings, investments, or just putting it to better use. What leaving my corporate career at 24 did to me was put a massive amount of pressure on me as a 24-year-old that had quit her job, that was doing this business, which months after leaving my corporate career, I realized I just was not aligned to it at all. And I was then in a place where I already knew of new businesses that I wanted to create and businesses that were just mine. But it was that really tough decision of realizing that I had kind of left my corporate career for something that wasn't aligned to me. And whilst it gave me incredible opportunities, just not where I see my income coming from. And especially now as a 28-year-old, I don't regret it, but it's definitely not something that I would see myself doing again. I guess looking back,
I will tell you, as somebody that is into business is tough. If you have a job that can afford you to do business by the side, please don't leave the job entirely to focus on a new business. Make sure that that business is well up on its way and is standing well before you leave your corporate. Like when the business is not time that needs your time more, you need to put your all in, and no, the business can pay you and sustain you and not break you emotionally and mentally. Because I won't lie, business takes a lot of toll on your emotions and your mental health. If you are not strong-willed, you don't have healthy community around you, it's gonna be a lot on you. Which is why I tell people, build communities anywhere you find yourself. Build communities. I will die on that hill. Build communities around any phase you're going through. In fact, have different communities for different spheres of your life. It will help you to come in handy, and it will save you from focusing too much or making your job your life or making the business your life. It will help you from that, because I see people crying after retirement, people that made their job or they made their business about their life. Now they're retired, they don't know what to do with themselves, they feel lost. You don't want to be in that predicament. More of us need to openly talk about this. Corporate has its benefits. Do your business on the side so you can hire people to do mundane tasks. Scalability is so much easier that way too. You will find yourself overstretched if you quit too early. Yeah, I won't lie. I actually quit too early. I quit 2 years after 2 years of being in corporate. I don't even have much. I didn't have much experience. I quit too early. Actually, I I would have left the one I was doing to find something better because I didn't like what I was doing. I think that was it. I quit too early actually, and up until now the business is still struggling. So I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. Do you?
Get ready with me while I tell you why I regret quitting my job as a teacher.
Now I get it. She does not regret it. I won't lie. I don't also regret quitting my job as a teacher. In as much as I regret leaving the corporate early, but I don't regret quitting as a teacher. I was a teacher. I taught for 2 years, little children. Those 2 years, the most miserable I've ever been in my entire life. I saved it every sense of responsibility. those 2 years were my most miserable. I don't ever want to be in that kind of space again. Mentally, I was drained. Emotionally, I was drained. That was why I was so eager to leave. So, but the thing I would have left, being a teacher and gone into something better that I would have enjoyed doing. Do you get? But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Did you ever regret quitting your job? Let us know in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.